Hello everybody and welcome back to Doodle Empires. Now last where we left off, we expanded in maritime Southeast Asia, especially in Philippines, where we have the nation of Davao and Dagu. Also added some more flavor to the map, like the survival war for Dagu, a rivalry between Tokyo and Shizuoka, as well as a new nation in China called Fuzhou. And over here we have Lei Shu that popped out of Halong, as well as the great game between Bangkok and Dongying. And from a defensive pact to an alliance from Pai and Sam Nuea. And much more, but I want to continue this video. So, I got some great feedback. From Oliver. He said that Nam Kong should be a little bit more in the east, so I had them over here, so I placed them over here a little bit more, because now that I'm looking at the map, it does look to be way closer to Lao Kaing than I thought it would be. I'm also finally going to be using the button to hide the placements, so that I can see better on the map, thanks to TDTP. I think I pronounced that correctly. Thank you for that. And then Robin Food gave me a good recommendation, where basically if a certain nation takes a specific region, I should rename them to the, like, Philippine Empire or something like that, which I do like the idea, but I'm not sure if I actually want to do it because I want to go more city name, but we could, like this island here. Like I could call this the Chavan Empire. But I'm gonna do it. And if you guys don't like it, you should just tell me in the comments below. But now this nation is, instead of being called Jakarta, it's being called the Chavan Empire. Now this video is going to be a short one because I am not feeling so good. I have a headache. So I'm probably just gonna do like 20 turns, maybe less, I don't know. But anyway, enough blabbering. Let's get on with the God, I cannot speak. I'm so sorry. Let's get on with the video. There we go. So starting off with the video, we're gonna go to Leisho. They are Celis Forest Dwellers. They came from Hanoi. Well, the origin of Hanoi, they came from Halong after them splitting off. They are going to be large expanding, and they are going to be expanding into this region down here because they can't actually go anywhere. They do not have enough strength to fight with Maoming or Halong. Next up with Hanoi, they are the conquerors, the hill dwellers. They're going to be adopting a religion. Seeing that their actual rival is Sam Nuea, so they're not gonna adopt Nueanism. They also don't want to stay in Hanoianism. For them, it's like a failed religion. So instead, they're going to test out something new, which is called Yungoism, and see if this will help them. Because in the long run, Hanoianism didn't help. It actually made things worse. Next up with Toi Hoa, the Conquer Nomads. They managed to fight against Natrong and win this region. They're also surrounded by the two great powers, so I don't think they can actually do anything except for small expansion. And I finish off this. Oh shit, what did I do? I tried to click the brush size. Oh god, okay. Basically I wanted them to finish off Natrong because I accidentally did that. And let's say, I guess they do like a surprise attack into Bangkok, because they didn't expect that. They actually managed to get land. But we're about to find out what's going to happen. And because of that, well, there's a war now. This war will be called the Tui Hoa Bangkok Humiliation War. Basically, Tui Hoa hates the fact that Bangkok is, well, embarrassing them because they can't expand anywhere. Because Bangkok says, no, 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 don't do that. Even because they're isolationists and they don't want any of Tui Hoa, you know, interfering with that. So what Tui Hoa did, they surprised them, they managed to push on in, and they're going to try to humiliate Bangkok into submission. So with Dongying, they are the Uniters, and Flatlanders, they expand super fast. Yeah, speaking of expansion, they're going to become super massive. So like I said last time, they're doing the Great Rivers Expedition. Basically what that calls, they want to see where every river leads to. Nations that are, just had a brain fart, to see that if any nations that are as advanced as they are, so basically you put on the map, exist out over here in the great, like, unknown. Of course, there are tribes everywhere, and they integrate these tribes, either forcefully or peacefully. It all depends on how the tribe responds to them. But that's basically what the whole Great Rivers Expedition is about. And even though they are focusing on the Rivers Expedition, they actually like Pyongyang and the Korean people living in Pyongyang enough to actually help them fill out some areas, because they do not want them to become disloyal, as Korea is surprisingly rich in trade and everything, coming from Seoul, Busan, and the Japanese nations. So it would suck if they were to lose them or get them disloyal. Anyway, we have Kuching next. They are Uniters, Flatlanders. They are in the Borneo region. Let's find out what happens with them. Nothing happens. They're instead entering an Age of Division. We're in the Age of Division with Ye. They are divisive mountaineers. Let's find out if something bad happens to them. It does not. Well, divisive, so they just get a leader change. Next up, we got Busan. They split from Seoul. I hope that they don't explode. They're expansionists, but we're about to find out. Instead, they're getting a small expansion. Going to grab a little channel down here, as well as just expanding into the mainland island and into the most western island. I actually don't know what these regions are called. I'm gonna have to look them up later. Basically, they're just gonna carve out basically the very first, like, colonial empire, not gonna lie. Next up, we have Tuihoa. Oh, why am I moving my camera like that? Next up, we have Tuihoa again. They are the conquerors, like I said before. They might explode. Nope, they're getting an age of... they're getting a small expansion again. Because I said last time that even though they're really small, they're basically just investing everything into their military. Because, you know, the two great powers are on their balls, so kind of have to. And because of that, and because of the surprise attack, they actually managed to push Bangkok all the way back across the river, and even pushing over the river, basically humiliating Bangkok already, and therefore enough people in Bangkok say, well, enough like citizens in Bangkok, they don't want anymore, and they're actually going to be piecing out with Tuihoa. Utterly humiliates the Bangkok government, and basically kind of, you know, shows them that they're really not as of a great power as they look. And now every other nation also thinks, hey, maybe Ye isn't even that great of a great power. Especially Pai, since, well, they're massive. Next up with Mao Ming, they are in the Shenzhen War for Independence. Last time they split off after Mao Ming split off of them. They're zealous flatlanders. They're getting a large expansion. They're going to be taking these uncolonized lands down here, just settling into it. But afterwards, they're going to be making a massive push, closing in on the capital, while also trying to push them out of the easternmost region to try and basically just squeeze them into a not so favorable area. And I think, wow, okay, well, they're basically just gonna take Shenzhen and well, reintegrate them. And they have more than enough land to actually migrate into different lands. So what they're gonna do is they're going to meet up with Fuzhou. That basically, those are people that kind of got away from Leishou and Shenzhen because of the instability. And now they're meeting up with Mao Ming, you know, the people that they didn't want to be in. So there's gonna be some interesting things happening here. We're going to push to some hilly terrain for natural defensive borders, as well as following the borders of Fuzhou, because there's also some hills and they can basically defend there pretty easily, just in case. Even though Fuzhou definitely doesn't want to try anything. This is insane. Mao Ming went from so small to like this massive South Chinese nation. Here is a historical thing happening. Mao Ming meets up with Dongying in the Great River Expedition. This is the very first time that the Western world, well, Western world of Asia, Eastern Asia, meets up with a different nation from Eastern East Asia. News of this discovery will go back here and will spread quickly across the Western East Asia region in Indochina. And well, there's going to be a lot more trading opportunities. This southern China region is going to become way more important. And Mao Ming, from an unstable government, turning into a nation with a lot of prestige for finding nations that people didn't know existed, or well, they knew something was out there, but they didn't know what, and Mao Ming was the first one to find them. With all this newfound prestige, they're basically just going to try and take as much land up in the north so that they can basically get kind of a foothold and monopoly on trading with the eastern nations. A little mistake that they did is they kept grabbing some river lands which the Dongying government wants, so maybe that'll turn into a bit of a conflict, but well, we'll have to wait and see. And so Mao Ming, from a destroyed nation to a, well, probably a top 10 power now, because of the prestige and, well, the finding of the new people from basically all of the new trade that's going to be happening. They made a massive comeback, and now they basically are known as the people who found the new world. Well, not the new world, but who found the nations in the east. Yeah. Next up we have Songkla. They are uniters and flatlanders. Their entire goal, of course, is to unite the mainland from Medan, because they are they don't really care about the mainland. But because this is the Age of Division, this might, never mind. A lot of divisioning happening. So the fort down in the south is basically going to protect them from Medan's wrath. So what they're instead of going to be focusing on is the northern area, in which they can just flood in, because Medan, like I said before, really doesn't care about the mainland region, even though it does help them, like, economically and, like... Oh, what the... Okay, so my game just teleported me down here and just gave me a lot of land that shouldn't have happened. That sucks. Oh well. But anyway, they actually managed to, in one turn, basically free all of the people from the Medan government. So this war for independence actually goes away, because Medan really didn't care about it except for the land and manpower that it had. To save this into a roleplay scenario, let's say that some Medanese people, the origin Medanese people, their origin should technically be Bangkok, but basically the Medanese people that are loyal to Medan fled down here, but the Songkla government views them as Songklayan, so they, in the peace treaty, they say we want all of this, but we also want this strip down here. And Medan said, yeah, you can have all of this up here, but this strip down here belongs to us, so this is a territory that both of them are fighting over of, what was this called again? Border dispute. Obviously, if it looks like Songkla pulled it out of its ass, that's because it did. I mean, like, why wouldn't you just claim it up here instead? Well, they want this land down here, because the Medon government started hearing some rumors about big old islands off the coastline, and Songclaw kind of wants that now. Anyway, I tried to save the roleplay, okay? Next up we have Busan. They're going to be drawing a card, and they're diverting their origin. Interesting. So they now have a Busan origin instead of a Korean origin, which will definitely piss off the Seoul people, because, well, they think that they belong to them. Next up, we have Yongon. They're zealous jungle explorers. Let's see if they get any weaker. No, they don't. Next up, we have Ye again. They're divisive forest dwellers. They are going to be large expanding. Okay. Well, what they're going to be doing is, because of the weak state that Bangkok is in, they're actually not going to adhere to their little pact that they had in saying you can have everything across the river. Instead, they're just going to steal it, angering the Bangkok government, but there's nothing that they can really do since they're trying to focus inwards, and Tui Hoa kind of just humiliated them. Now that the news of the East has spread enough, basically into Ye and Yangon and Pai and like everyone on mainland now, what Ye is going to be doing is doing a surprise attack on Leishou, trying to grab this land here. What they're going to try and do is set sail into the east to try and become like a trading powerhouse. And this will be the first time that anyone has kind of tried to become like a trading empire. And the first people that it is going to be Ye. What they're going to be doing, they're actually just going for a war for like coastline. Once they reach the tip here, they're going to be piecing out Leishou, obviously not being able to do anything about it. They're just going to say, okay, fine. And because Maoming is kind of weak still, but they are getting really, really strong now, what Ye is going to be doing is saying, hey, we'll give you a lot of money so you can, you know, become the great power that you can be. But what we want are these islands for trading outposts and these islands. So basically, Ye government is all the way over here, but Da Nang is obviously kind of loyal because of how unstable they were. So they sail basically from Da Nang onto this island and then into these smaller islands down here, into the trading, basically into the refueling areas where they probably trade with Mao Ming for like food and stuff so that they, you know, don't go hungry. So it's a good deal for Mao Ming. It's a great deal for Ye. And then they start sailing, they continue sailing, just explore the oceans, something that these two haven't done because, well, they're relatively new and they had, you know, a war for independence that I have to get rid of, I just noticed. And they find these islands near Taiwan. What do? They obviously plunk down a little colony. They are going to keep setting sail, going to buy off some islands from Huzhou. They're going to find these islands, they're going to meet with Hangzhou, and funnily enough, they don't have to pay anything to Hangzhou because these were unclaimed. And, well, they managed to make it. They reached the east part of the world, well, of their known world. But they're not satisfied enough because, you know, they want to mainly trade with Dongying. They're going to be buying one single island from Hangzhou. And I think you can tell where this is going. They're coming from Da Nang, going onto this island, going onto multiple other islands, so far stretched, so far up. They wasted so much money to get so much, but, well, so little technically, even though you can now trade with Dongying. In this timeline, especially when you did all of this so fast, this isn't very stable for your government and the people and everything. They're desperately trying to do that to basically get stronger and get more, become the trading empire that they want to be right now. And even though they made deals with Mao Ming, Fuzhou, Hangzhou about, you know, refueling, getting food from them, they don't want to do that forever, obviously, since that is a waste of money in their eyes. So they're actually starting to colonize Taiwan, or whatever this island is called, for the People's Republic of China. Basically going to try and make this into a agricultural island for basically just refueling and restocking. There's a lot of lore for Yay in one single turn. Oh my god. These small islands that they bought and or took and or just managed to claim before a different nation got to claim it. Okay. Next up with Sam Nuea. Interesting. I wonder what they're gonna be doing because they're kind of stuck. Not liking the way that Hanoi changed its religion, even though they didn't like Hanoianism either. The religion is for them a little too different. So in their anger, they declare a war against Hanoi. This campaign really is not looking good for Hanoi, like, at all. Yeah, my headache is very strong right now, so I'm just gonna do 5 more turns. Let's draw the Chauvin Empire. Let's go, the Peaceful Flatlanders. I hope they don't division. Okay, good. They've become pretty technologically advanced for being nowhere near like the most advanced nations. Basically, they're just gonna expand a lot on the mainland, which, you know, Medon kind of wants, and then they're also going to be expanding down here, with boats just barely being able to reach these islands, and maybe just barely this one as well. Yeah, so it looks a little nicer. They're also gonna grab these ones here. There we go. That looks pretty clean. And then what they're going to be doing, they're going to be following along this mountainous terrain until they meet, that's right, the Medon government. The Medon government obviously gets super angry because now they know of a nation that is stealing, well, stealing, quote unquote, it means unclaimed land, but basically stealing what the Medon people, or, well, government, think is rightfully theirs. Also, I want to say something. If you guys have been a long-term subscriber to this channel, you know that I played Little Nightmares 1 and 2, and those were my favorite videos, like, ever to make, because I love Little Nightmares. And the newest game, Little Nightmares 3, will come out in like 3 weeks or 4 weeks from now, and I really want to play that game and make a video on it, and I might even do a streaming video, like a live stream. And if you guys are want to see me live or want to see the video, please just, you know, tell me in the comments, because that would actually, like, warm my heart to see that people actually want to see me play a franchise that I'm, like, a really big fan of. Yeah, anyway, back to the video. I'm gonna give them all of this. I don't know. I didn't want to give them any more because they're just gonna be too, like, powerful. Next up, we're going to Tokyo. The Celos Mountaineers. Tokyo obviously needs to expand some more to be able to, well, rival Shizuoka better. Well, I guess that's fine. Next up we have Fusho. They're the peaceful ones. They got a lot of money from Yay for selling the islands, but not enough to keep them stable. The nation of Nanping will be splitting off of Fusho, basically not because Fusho was an unstable government, but because their ideals no longer aligned with the Nanping people. They got out of there because of how unstable Maoming and Lei Shou and Halong were. Because of all of their independence wars, they left. But after Maoming finding Dongying and getting so much prestige, getting so much money, becoming more stable than ever, the Nanping people, they kind of want to become independent and align themselves towards the Maoming government. And because Fusho are peaceful and they just want to be left alone, just, you know, live their utopia, they're going to agree to it. They're just going to say, hey, fine, just be yourself, it's fine. don't worry about it. Nanping is give or take over here. Yeah, basically just live your life, get closer to Mao Ming, and Nanping will be making a defensive pact with Mao Ming, not because, you know, they're scared of Fuzhou, but basically to improve relations with the Mao Ming government, and show them that they are their allies and not their enemies. Next up, we have Hongshou, the isolationist forest dwellers, with the leader being Beofeng. They are going to be splitting. All of the small nations split. Okay, fine. The nation of Shanghai will be splitting off of Hongshou for the simple reason that is they kinda got angry at Hongshou for just letting this island fall into Ye. Like, because this used to belong to the Hongshou region, the Shanghai region, and the Hongshou government just said, yeah, take it, we just don't hurt us. And obviously the Shanghai got upset over it, and now want to, well, break off. And here it is, the final turn, Dongying, the final turn. Maybe they're going to break apart. Nope. What they're going to be doing next is basically just doing a surprise attack on the Mao Ming government for these rivers, because, well, they want them. They basically just push them down a bit and then go over to the government. The government's like, hey, what the hell why did you attack us? I thought we were cool. They said they want these rivers to, you know, do the expedition that they set out on. And, well, the Mao Ming government knows that, well, they're not strong enough just yet to fight them, especially since they have basically become probably the number 2 great power, because they lack they're just a little bit behind tech than the Indo-Chinese people. So they are probably the number 2, next to Ye, and Pai might be just barely under them, and then Bangkok. Because of that, they're just gonna, the Mao Ming are just gonna say, fine, take it, we're cool, right? And obviously Dongying says, yeah, we're cool as long as you don't even try it again. That's basically where the hostilities end. But Mao Ming is going to be kind of holding a grudge against Dongying. Mao Ming gets a, basically, kind of a want for the rivers, and kind of, you know, like a revenge. They want all of the river land that they previously had. If you know what I mean. I don't know. This headache, bro. I can't think. But yeah, this is gonna do it. I know it's a little bit shorter probably, but it's a 40-minute session for me, so just 20 minutes less than what I usually do, I guess. I'm just gonna end it here. I'm not even gonna look around. I'm gonna go to bed and take a nap, and yeah. We made Mao Ming into a freaking great power. We've made Ye into a trading empire that's probably gonna break apart because of how far away all of this is. But anyway, I hope you liked it. If you did like it, I hope you liked the video. If you disliked it, you can dislike it, obviously. I can't stop you. If you want to subscribe, you can, obviously, but it's your choice. I would like to get 100 subs. That's my next goal on this channel. And anyway, I hope you have a good day or night. Bye, everyone.